What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today we're going to go over the inputs, outputs, and controls for your APM6 speakers. Now these are available in 3 different colors of black, white, and classic wood like the ones I have here, but the inputs, outputs, and controls for each of these colors are the exact same. So the first thing I want to mention is the output to left speaker, and this is what you're going to use to connect the main speaker, which has all of the inputs, outputs, and controls, to the next speaker. So to connect the speakers together, you're going to take your connector cable here, take one end and plug that into the out to left output here. And while you're doing that, you want to make sure that this groove here lines up to the groove on the output. And then once you push this all the way in, you can use this cap here to screw the connector on to fully secure it to the output. And you'll know it's not going anywhere even if you try to budge it out, it's going to stay completely still. So then you're going to take the other end here and plug that into the input on the next speaker. And again, you want to make sure that the groove on the bottom of the connector matches to the groove on the input. And then again, once it's pushed in, you can use this cap to fully secure it to the speaker. Once that's all set, you can use the power switch here to turn the speaker on. Now on top, we have the volume knob here to control the volume coming out of our speakers. We can even adjust the overall sound of the speakers using these bass and treble switches here. So for instance, we have the bass switch here that's going to affect the low end coming out of our speakers. So we can set this in the middle to 0 so that you have an even bass response. You can also switch it to the left so that you take away 4 dB or minus dB, and that's going to lower the bass coming out of the speakers. And then you can flip it all the way to the right to add 4 dB, which is going to give you more bass coming out of the speakers. And then we have the same type of control for the treble switch here, which is going to affect the high-end frequencies coming out of the speakers. So again, you can set this in the middle to 0 for an even treble. If you want to take away some treble, you can set it to minus 4 dB, which will lower it by 4 dB. And if you want to add more treble, you can flip it to the right to add 4 dB of treble through your speakers. So underneath that, we have a headphone jack, so we can plug in a pair of headphones to the speakers in case we wanted to listen to anything that's plugged into the speakers through the inputs more privately. So speaking of inputs, we actually have a whole section of inputs that we can use to connect anything to our speakers here. So we have the RCA input, so we can connect anything with an RCA output, like a record player, DVD or CD player, etc. We have the USB input, so we can connect a laptop or computer to the speakers. And then we have the left and right combo jack input, so we can connect a mixer, interface, and much more. So hopefully this helped explain all of the controls, inputs, and outputs for the APM6 speakers. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.